Hello guys and welcome back. Yeah, let's keep on building this part. This random height. Okay. And by the way, I think another really good thing about this, like you do the calculation first and you apply it by querying that attribute, is that you can do a lot of things here. Like you can calculate rotations, right? So I'm gonna say rand rotation will be also equals to something. Again, I'm doing too much Python, so I always forget to type in the data type. Random location random location will be equals to really similar actually. So fit 01 with the random value of the current iter, maybe plus something. And then and then it's going to be ranging from another channel. Let's say float rot var variation equals to channel rotation variation, and that's going to be equals to negative rotation var and then positive rotation var. Alright, cool. So that will have a new channel. Okay, and just drag this over to our generator here, right? Just drag it over. Okay, rotation var now. Variation. Copy and paste in here. Okay, so that way we can change the rotation variation here. All right, and then maybe this is for the rotation we kind of need to be able to have like a bigger number range, so maybe 15 degrees all the way, except that. Cool. So now we can just say f at instead of that, and we got this random rotation here, and go create another transform, call this guy rand rotation. Just better to be consistent, so random rotation. Okay, now this one we just need to ask for the rotation, which is going to be we can basically copy what's going on here, and here we're basically asking for rand rotation. Okay, oh, but not for translation though. It's going to be the rotation on the x and z direction. Actually, we kind of wanted to have two different directions. So yeah, that means we can do like random rotation x for that, and random rotation z for like a different value. So we can add like a multiply by something else, so that we're getting different results. Okay, rotation x and z are different. Cool. So now in the random rotation part, we can just copy this thing and go to the rotation. In the x, we can say random rotation x, okay, and then random rotation z. All right, and now you can see they're rotating like in some weird way. That's because they're all rotating based on the center of the universe, which is not what we want. So in that case, we wanted to define the pivot to be the center, which is centroid, basically. Centroid of the operator input path, right? And then dx for x, and then y, and then z. So that way they're all rotating based on their own pivot, which is better. Right, we have this now random rotation added. All right, and it's just a matter of doing UV. We can do UV before we do the rotation, because that way we can just project it. So UV project. Okay. We can, oh, Okay, space 5 to take a look at the UV. Right. And we have a lot of like settings here already, which is weird. So don't want it to actually scale it, so I'm going to change it to 111. That way we're just having it in here. Don't have to worry too much about it because we can lay out the UVs when we're done with everything. Alright, cool. So yeah, let's go back, space 1 to go back. Now I think the only thing left to do is just adding the thickness, so let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do an extrude in here. Okay, and we're extruding it upwards, and we extrude, of course, the back group. Okay, so we got this plank, and yeah. Alright, now go to our asset settings. We drag the extrusion amount to here. We can call this guy plank thickness for the thickness of the plank. Okay, and then we can, it can be ranging from 0 to 0.1. I guess that's already too much. 0.2. Apply and accept that. Take a look at our parameters. Cool. And now we got everything. Okay. So now we have this really cool like plank structure added to the ground plan we gave it. Okay. Alright, now just to have some fun, what we want to do is, let's actually organize those things. So these guys are actually a lot of things. We can put them into one subnetwork again, one more time. And this is the variation and thickness. Variation, thickness, and EV. Oh, so that UV layout should be inside. Let me get rid of that and then paste it in here. Right? Or even we don't have the layout, we should get something really cool anyways. Okay. And you know, this could be just the texture, but I think layout would give us some more variations. Let's go back out. So yeah, that's some stuff finally done, right? We have all these things now. Now one more thing I wanted to add is actually give it some thickness. Actually give it another layer that's on the bottom. Okay, so let's do that. So we started with our cleanup, right? Now after cleaning up, I'm gonna go create a transform node to rotate this guy 90 degrees on the Y. So got something like this. Okay, and also just to be safe, I'm also gonna move it downwards, like -20 unit down, so it's below there, and then we do like a merge. Okay, now we're having like this guy and this guy. Oh, that's too low. Maybe -3 unit down is already enough. Okay, so this is like rotated 90 degree, right? So that's before, after, and then I'm gonna also give it a color and make it like red. Okay. Now I don't personally like to use color as, you know, somehow information related, because you could do color somewhere down the way, but again, it could be really convenient because then here when you reach to the very end, you can see this guy is gonna still be red and this guy is still gonna be white, so it's very easy now to move it back. So another transform here. Okay. Oh, we do another attribute wrangle. Before we do that, we can say fend bottom one. right? So for every point, we can say if at cd dot x not equals to at cd dot z, because as x is 1 and z is 0, right? We can say I at group underscore bottom equals to 1. That's going to give them a bottom group. Okay, so that way when the transform node, all we have to do is just deal that on the bottom group point, and we rotate -90 to bring this guy back to the correct rotation and moving back up. So that's going to be, how much am I moving? Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's copy parameter. We paste relative reference. We put it into negative, and we basically minus 0.2 or whatever. I think that's gonna be something we could reference our plank thickness. Okay, and maybe we just add a little bit more. 0.05 maybe, yeah, so that they're separated. It's a little low. 0.03, yeah, it's close enough. Right, so we have 2 layers now. Bottom back, and then we do another color node to give them, or we can do attribute delete actually. So that we're going to delete the color on the vertex. Oh, sorry, it's in here. I'll delete the color attribute. Now we have the plank suddenly becomes 2-layer, right? Really cool. All right, that's basically the setup, right? So when we're done with this, I think one more thing is just have a null node to indicate that this is out. Okay, and toggle that on, and then we're done with the asset. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this asset. Okay, so that's gonna save this thing into a actual asset now. Okay, and then we can, yeah, I think that's all there is for this one, right? We have all the things there. In the next video, maybe we can test this thing, right, to see how it works with different floor plans, right? We now are using only one floor plan, so we're not sure if it's going to work with others. We may need to do some debugging down the way. Okay, so yeah, let's move on to do that.